This is very surrealistic, isn't it? Okay, streetcar system performance report, Mr. Allen.
Good afternoon, Brian Allen, Director of Streetcar Operations. Did you?
You say Frank, please?
Frank, please.
Didn't work.
No.
There it is.
There. Now I got it. Just wanted to start out today with a recap of our ridership from fiscal year 2019. As you can see by the graphs on the monitor, we had a very strong year, and our morning ridership has averaged right around 8% all the months, so that's pretty sizable and consistent. So it shows that what we're hauling are regular commuters and all that. And you can see that for fiscal year 2019, we hauled 850,853 compared to 302,872 the year before that.
That's great.
And this year for October, a little bit different than what was initially reported. Our ridership for October this year was 80,307. So a very, very strong month for us.
Really? That's great.
That included 20 hours of extra service for events at the Amalie. In October, we had one accident, one incident. The accident occurred at 2nd Avenue and Channelside, where a car turned left in front of the streetcar and was struck. The incident was a motorman made a reverse move through a switch and started to split the switch. No derailment, nothing, but we lost 1.25 trips due to having to wait for maintenance to come out and inspect the car before it could be moved. Other than that, our on-time performance was 99.92%. And everything's on, all maintenance is up to date. The only system change I have to report, which I'm pretty happy about, is that I have only one open position in my department.
Excellent.
That's the first time in over a year that we can say that. Does anybody have any questions?
Would you be sure and send this report to the board members, please?
Absolutely.
Great. Hearing no other questions, thank you very much. Chair's report, I really don't. Ms. Stewart, interim CEO report.
There's another item, the streetcar.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian.
Oh, that's okay.
Go ahead and do the update on the streetcar track tide. Thank you.
Okay, a little background. Since the system was built in 2002 and opened, there's been no major track work done. And during that time, the ballasted track sections, which were designed initially to aid drainage in the various areas, has been inundated with water and has greatly reduced the life of the ties. The picture there are the ties that were taken out of the interlocking area between 5th and 6th Avenue right there. In June of this year, the Park Board approved a contract with R.W. Summers to replace roughly 1,500 cross ties in the ballasted track section. And all this work is funded by a FTA Surface Transportation Block Grant. And what this means to us is that about a quarter of our line is ballasted track sections, which is what everybody would think of as railroad track, like what CSX runs on. Except if you look at the picture on the right here, our track is built in a concrete tub. Various reasons for that, but in the end of it all, you have to pull the rail to get the ties out and to do any ballast work. So it's very labor-intensive work, and that shows just the start of it. And this work started on November 4th, and we're anticipating completion in February. And During this time, we are running a bus bridge, and you can see the route of that. It runs between Cumberland Station and up into, sir, it stops at both Katarisha and the Streetcar Society in Ybor. We'll be running that Monday through Friday, and we're going to have regular service on Saturdays and Sundays, holidays, and for our special events.
Which would include the Winter Express?
Yes. Yes.
That's great.
Which we're going to start running this Sunday.
That's great, thank you.
And like I said, the bus bridge, operations was good enough to supply us with the trolleys, the robo-tired trolleys, to visually differentiate between those and the fixed route buses that are around here. And what the service looks like is in the downtown between Cumberland and Whiting Street, we're running 2 cars. Those cars are running on the normal schedules in the downtown. So if you show up at any of the stations, the posted schedules are being adhered to by those 2 cars.
Excellent.
And we're running 1 car in Ybor, and that's running between Katarisha and Centennial. And it's operating on the departure time out of Centennial.
Excellent.
So,
Have you encountered any pushback from our customers?
well, one of the things, during the week before, our motorman started to tell the customers that this was coming. And since we have 1 motorman extra now and a standby, we're putting them on the shuttle buses to help ease, the transition.
Sure.
And also to give them a friendly face that they know.
Good.
And it's helped. First day you're going to have some bumps in the road, but for the most part, it's been working pretty well.
Good, and it doesn't slow things down too much?
No, everybody who's taken it, and I've done it also, says it adds about maybe 5 minutes on it.
Okay, good. Any other questions? If not, would you be sure and send this presentation around to our board?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Stewart.
Good afternoon again, sir. I have 3 items. The first is the Winter Village Express. The Tico Streetcar line will be participating again this year with the Winter Village Express. It's a special event. We'll run on Sundays, beginning November 24th through December the 22nd. This charter will operate as an express between the Whiting Street Station and the Central E4 Station, running between the 4 regular service cars. The scheduled departure times in Whiting Street are 3:30 p.m., 4:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. The next item is the FDOT Triennial Safety and Security Audit. The final report for the April 29, 2019 FDOT Triennial Safety and Security Audit was received this week, and staff will make a presentation at the next THS board meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, the streetcar rebuild project. Hart sought a contractor to rebuild 4 of the streetcars. This project is 100% FTA funded for state of good repair. The anticipated completion date is the end of fiscal year 2020. In essence, 2 cars will be out of service at a time while they're being repaired. The other 2 will be running, and then those 2 will be replaced by the others to be rebuilt, so that we can maintain a consistent level of service. There's a site visit on August 2019 for any interested contractors. Only 1 contractor bid on this project. The bids were scheduled and were open on Friday, August 23rd, 2019. And so a resolution will be presented to the Hart Board in January for the rebuild of the 4 streetcars by, I'll spell it, GOMACO, who was the lowest bidder.
Great, thank you.
And that's all we have for today.
Thank you so much. Any questions? If not, let's move to Mr. Matthews and our legal and legislative report.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I've got 2 items, one of which is the Vector Media contract renewal and amendment, but that'll take a vote and some
Speak into the microphone because they cannot hear you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me now? All right, good. One of which is the Vector Media contract renewal, but that'll take some deliberation and some voting, so I'll discuss that second. The first item is regards some references that were made about the streetcar system in a brief that was filed in a Florida Supreme Court case recently. As many of you may know, Hillsborough County passed a transportation tax within the past year, which has been subsequently challenged by some taxpayers. That case has reached the Florida Supreme Court, and in one of the briefs filed by Mr. Stacy White, they take make a couple comments about the funds collected being used to replace the streetcar system, and make comments that that was not disclosed to the voters, and that essentially Hillsborough County did this in kind of a backroom deal and didn't disclose this to the voters, and that these funds are going to be used to replace the streetcar system, which won't benefit all of the residents in Hillsborough County, will only benefit those who use it downtown, and won't benefit those in Brandon, Town and Country, and Sun City. So I wanted to just make the board aware of that. These references have been made. We don't think it implicates Tampa Historic Streetcar in any way. There's no claims against THS or anything like that, but wanted to raise it to your attention and see if the board had any questions or anything like that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few projects undertaken by anybody with this tax that benefits every citizen of Hillsborough County, so I don't see the point, but
Yeah.
any other questions? If not, let's move on to the Vector Media.
Yep, and I've got a couple of copies of that brief in case anybody would like to.
Yeah, I'd like it. I'd like a copy, please.
Okay, I'll give it to you after the meeting.
Okay, so Tyler Rowland.
Yeah, I can lead the conversation. If you want to chime in, feel free. If the board will recall, last year we extended the Vector Media contract by 1 year, and it's set to expire January 1st of 2020. We discussed last year and kind of kicked around the idea of whether or not to extend it again or to put it out for solicitation for a new contract. Based on internal discussions with Hart staff, we proposed or put together an 8th amendment to the agreement, which will extend the Vector Media contract for 6 months through July 1st of 2020. Vector Media has executed that amendment, so all that it needs to be done is have the board approve it to extend it through July 1st of 2020. And then during that time, Hart staff can deliberate and discuss potentially rolling up all advertising operations to be done under one big contract so that we're not, I guess, bifurcated into separate contracts. And I understand that that would kind of be the plan moving forward. I don't know, Tyler, if you want to comment on that or...
Yeah, so that was kind of the brief conversation that we had internally as a Hart team, is we could get it all underneath one roof, one vendor, and then we're not kind of piecemealing it together. That would be a really good solution for all the advertising within that. So.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep, so we have the 8th Amendment, which has already been executed by Vector, and all that needs to be done now is to be voted on by the board. Do you have any questions?
Are there any?
I have a question.
There you go.
Are the terms, all other terms of the agreement the same as before, other than the extended date?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, Abby? Anybody? Hearing none. Any public comment? Seeing and hearing none. May I have a motion, please?
I'll move it.
Thank you, David.
Second?
And we have a second from Ms. Ahern.
Yes.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Hearing no nays, the motion passes. So you'll get back to us in the spring with a little notice about what you are proposing that would include the streetcar.
Right.
Okay, good. All right. Marketing report is in your package. Financial statements are in your package. Are there any questions about either? Hearing none. Is there any old business to conduct? Any new business to... Tyler?
So I was going to Tyler Rowland, Manager of Communications and Marketing and Creative Services. I was going to give you an update on the advertising and marketing from Vector Media and
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So kind of simplified the report that you generally get from Vector Media, just to make it a little bit more digestible. For the month of October, the total revenue that was earned was $43,426. Of that, THS, the 60% was $26,000. and $55.60.
That's great.
So it's a little easier to adjust there. And then October advertising revenue, the three main advertisers were Miller Coors with $6,732, Tampa Bay Lightning with $3,615, and Tampa General Hospital that had $3,000 for their advertising. Those are all in the month of October. And this is an overview of the current streetcar wraps that are in the system right now, and then some that are coming towards in 2020. Again, it's Coors and Miller both have separate wraps on cars. Tampa Bay Lightning, Cigar City Brewing is out of the system right now, as well as Grow Financial, Tampa General Hospital, and of course the Winter Village, which will be kicking off here real soon. And then, in 2020, we have some future advertisers with Seminole Hard Rock of Tampa, Ashley Furniture, and the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, which will be preempting the Super Bowl in 2021.
Right.
Then obviously in October it was the partnership with Crew of Tampa Bay and Making Strides for Tampa Bay, which we wrapped a streetcar pink again for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but also to promote the Making Strides walk.
Mm-hmm.
And that concludes. Any questions?
Please send this to our board members.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any questions of board members from the audience? If not, thank you very much, Tyler. Any other business to come before the board? Hearing none, I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. It's a little lonely.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Just Miss Stewart.